Power tends to corrupt, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. John Dalberg Acton. That is the ancient sickness of tyranny, not merely the hunger to rule, but the fear of ever being powerless. Every tyrant begins as a man who cannot endure uncertainty. He wants order because chaos terrifies him. He wants obedience because doubt feels like humiliation. He wants a world that bows because a world that does not bow forces him to face himself. Boethius understood this better than most kings. In The Consolation of Philosophy, written in prison while waiting for death, he showed how fragile earthly greatness really is. Thrones rise on noise, but they collapse in silence. Augustine, in The City of God, drew the same line from another angle. Empires may shine, but they are still mortal things, built from ambition, fear, and dust. Even Dante, in Inferno, imagined the damned trapped forever inside the shape of their own sins. Tyranny is like that. It is not strength. It is a prison the tyrant builds around his own soul. The medieval world was full of men who mistook dominance for destiny. Kings were crowned by God, but they still lived beneath the shadow of revolt, famine, betrayal, and plague. In 1215, King John of England was forced to accept the Magna Carta, a reminder that even rulers could be dragged back by law. In 1381, the Peasants' Revolt shook England and showed that fear can work both ways. The many, once silent long enough, can become history's blade. And when the Black Death swept through Europe, it revealed something even crueler than disease: the fact that power offers no immunity from human fragility. That is why tyrants are so dangerous. They rarely think of themselves as villains. They think of themselves as necessary. They call cruelty stability. They call silence peace. They call terror loyalty. But tyranny always betrays its own nature, because the ruler who trusts no one is already ruled by paranoia. The ruler who must watch every face is not powerful. He is trapped. Every secret enemy he imagines is really a reflection of the enemy within. The medieval mind knew a terrible truth that modern men often forget. To rule without justice is to rule over ruins. A crown can be worn by anyone. But authority, real authority, requires restraint, because power without restraint becomes hunger, and hunger never knows when it is full. In the end, tyrants do not fall because they are weak in body. They fall because they are hollow in spirit. They can command armies, punish cities, and terrify nations. But they cannot command time. They cannot command conscience. They cannot command the moment history turns and names them for what they were. A tyrant may conquer a kingdom, but he always loses himself.